Hi guys! Welcome back to another episode of our life seasons where we talk about the different seasons of life and how we grow through it. So, today's episode, you might hear that my voice is a little off because I am still recovering from a sore throat. I don't know what happened over the weekend. I wasn't having any fever, I wasn't having any cold, but my voice just went off and I was praying so hard. I was trying to manifest that before Tuesday, which is the day that I'm recording this episode, I will recover. And thank God, like my voice, at least I think I would say it's about 70%, 80% recovered. So I'm able to record it because I would hate to miss one episode just because of my voice and God knows what happened. So yeah, it's not like I went singing or I don't know, strain my voice. It was gone on a Saturday, like over the weekends, and it was gone because I ate something really spicy. And I think, yeah, that was it. I don't know why, but I am so glad that I'm able to be here today, right now, to record this podcast because this episode is very interesting. I mean, like all other episodes, I say it for all other episodes, but episode 24, we are already at episode 24, and 24 weeks have passed. I am just so freaking happy that you guys made it this far to be here listening to me talking about my life in general. And yeah, I just can't be more than happy and grateful to be able to have you here with me. So, by the time that you're listening to this, it's the 1st of December, the month where we're celebrating so many occasions, like, towards the year end, New Year's, Christmas, and Christmas Eve, even. So much joy, so much gratitude, so much love. It's like a season of celebration, and I know everyone is just so happy. But I know there's also a thing called seasonal depression, which I hope that everyone's doing okay. And I just want to keep up this positivity and this happy momentum of just celebrating life, celebrating love, celebrating the people that are around you, just spending time with them during this festive season. And if you're alone, I would say that I hope that this podcast episode actually, or rather all of my podcast episodes actually help you to kind of go through this season if you're alone or if you're facing seasonal depression, which I hope you're not. So, yeah, without babbling on, this week's episode, at least, episode 24, is about what I'm living in 2023 and what I'm bringing in, okay? Instead of whatever that I'm leaving behind, I'm also going to bring in stuff with me for 2024. So, as usual, I have 10 10 things on the list that I'm actually leaving behind in 2023, and I kind of want to do a wrap up. The reason why I put this episode here right now at the start of December is because I hope that you guys, after listening to this episode, you're able to actually sit down with yourself and start listing out the things that you want to leave behind in 2023, what you've outgrown, and then also kind of think about what you want to bring in 2024. So that use this whole month, like the 1st of December all the way to the 31st of December, to kind of think about what you want to accomplish in 2024 and how your life has been in 2023. So that's why I'm putting this episode right smack at the start of December. Okay? So as same thing, I have my iPad with me to go through the 10 items on my list, and I hope that I think out of all these 10 items, some of it might be very relatable to you as well and something to think about when you're listing out your things as well. Okay? So the first thing that I'm saying goodbye and leaving behind me in 2023 is I'm done looking for external validation. So what I mean is like material stuff, or even to wait until I have huge accomplishments before I'm actually satisfied, right? Because I feel like I've always attached my self-worth to my milestones, which is not wrong. Like I feel like I celebrate all my milestones, whether or not it's with material stuff or just whether or not it's with family members. But at the same time, I feel like I kind of put my self-worth, you know, like I tie my self-worth together with it, right? So I would only wait for a huge milestone or something huge to happen, like I reach certain goals, to be able to celebrate fully and to feel like I'm worthy. And I think that's the thing that I want to leave behind in 2023. I do not want that anymore. Instead, what I'm doing now, or what I'm wanting to bring in, is to actually measure all my accomplishments, or all whatever I deem as success to me, in terms of growth. So instead of looking at numbers, things that you're tracking, right? Like getting this drink bag, or getting amount of X amount of followers, or I don't know, just reaching that crazy goal, or even, like getting pay increment and stuff like that. Everything that is external, right? Because I feel like most of the time we always tie our self worth, or rather what we deem as successful accomplishments, to whatever that is outside of us, right? Not within us. So what I want to bring in 2024 is that I want to look at all my accomplishments and make sure, or rather, and appreciate even the smallest things, like growth, like mental growth, right? Mindset wise, things like, I will be happy and I will be celebrating accomplishments, like uh letting go of control, celebrating stuff like that, even little accomplishments every single day that prove that you're growing every single day. I would write down, what I'm intending to do is to write down what I'm happy about, what I'm grateful for that day, three things that I'm grateful for. And I want the majority of it to be on growth, like mental growth, or what I've learned in life in general, or what I've learned in that day or that week, right? It's a lot on growth mentally. And I can't say this enough. Growth is something that we don't really measure, because we will only think about how far we've come, or how far we've grown, how much we've grown, I mean, after some time, right? Looking back in hindsight, and we don't really actually have time, or we don't actually give ourselves enough time to sit down and appreciate our growth, right? Because we gotta understand that wherever you are right now, even if you feel like it's not good enough, know that the past you would look at your current you and be envy of it, because whatever that you have right now used to be a dream, it used to be a desire, it used to be a goal of yours, right? And I would say that one thing that you can't deny is that over the years you've grown so much in terms of skill sets, you've grown so much in terms of the life lessons that you have learned. And this is something that we don't see often, or rather we don't appreciate often, and we don't deem it as our accomplishments and as our success. And that brings us to the whole cycle of not feeling worthy, and just being in this loop of like not being enough, or not feeling like you're enough, right? So this is one thing that I want to bring in into 2024, is to bring in like growth as an accomplishment, right? Look at things that are so hidden that we don't always deem as accomplishments, and leave all the materialistic stuff, or all the material stuff, to the side. Not that it's not important. If you are like really into materials, or rather if you're really into luxury goods, not wrong. I myself, I own a couple of luxury items, and I take pride in that, because they all like measure different milestones of mine. And that has been something that I've always done. And whenever I look at, that particular item, I feel so good, because I remind myself of that milestone. But these milestones are very, how to say, like, it's more on the external world, right? Like I mentioned, and I want to reward myself more on the internal world, like how much I've grown. Because this year in 2023, I've grown so much internally, and I'm always appreciative of how much, I've grown in terms of mindset wise, loving myself a little bit more, understanding myself a little bit more, being more open with myself, and also to just really sit with myself and accept myself for who I am, right? Because I think that's one thing that I used to struggle a lot. I never ever have or give myself enough credit or the time to sit down and appreciate all the growth that I've been through over the years. Okay, so this is something that I want to bring in 2024. So, number two, I'm done giving others the chance to justify my self-worth. So this kind of tie into like the first point of seeking external validation, right? I used to want to hear things from people like, oh, you're doing so great, like, oh, your job well done. And all these things would make me feel like I'm worthy, or rather I'm doing something right, right? And if I don't hear them, means I'm not worthy enough, means I'm not confident enough. It also means that I'm not doing enough. I'm not good enough, right? And I feel like when we put the power into the hands of other people to tell you how worthy you are, I think that's when you will never ever be satisfied internally. because you don't give yourself enough credit, or rather you don't give yourself that power. You don't take back that power from others to tell yourself that it's okay to tell yourself that you're worthy even if no one else tells you that, and that builds confidence, right? So instead of that, I want to bring in self-acceptance. Self-worth ties in with self-acceptance. Like I mentioned in one of the episodes, self-love is equals to self-acceptance, because this is one thing that I've learned in this year, is to learn how to find inner peace and to know that whatever that I'm doing, I'm right where I need to be, and I accept all my flaws, all my imperfections, things that I'm insecure about. I accept them with all my heart. And I don't mean the surface level of accepting. I mean sitting down with yourself, writing out whatever it is that you feel like you're not good enough at, and really look at that list and tell yourself that it's okay. It really is okay. And what I'm gonna do is to start working on it. Because if you're unhappy about something, work on it, right? And if you feel like you can't work on it, or you feel like you're okay with letting it go or letting it be something that you're not good at, that's fine, right? Leave it as it is. And I feel like when you're so certain about your abilities, and you worthy, and you feel so worthy for love, worthy for success, worthy for abundance, I think that's when you start attracting more of it, right? Because whatever that you focus on, whatever energy that you focus on, you attract more of it. So I would say start to tell yourself that you're worthy of love. Because I think one thing, especially if you're healing from a heartbreak, or rather you've been through heartbreak, you would know that your self-worth is so damaged from a relationship, whether or not it is a good relationship that you have ended, you guys have ended or parted ways happily. But I feel like one thing that I've seen a lot of my friends, or even people around me, or even hearing from people's story, one thing that gets crashed so badly during a relationship, or when you end a relationship, is your self-worth. Because you feel like without the partner, or without your partner, you're no one, right? You're not worthy of love. And I would say take the time to kind of recover from that, to learn to love yourself a little bit more, to understand what you're good at, what you're not good at, and to start to really learn more about yourself. Take the time to heal, to learn more about yourself. Because when you know yourself fully, you know yourself enough, like you know what you want, what you expect from people, and what are your standards. I would say that's when you become more confident in telling people, hey, this is my standards, this is what I expect, and stand by it. Because if you don't stand by yourself, no one else will. Right? And that's something I strongly believe, because if you don't back yourself up and you start doubting yourself, you feel like you're not worthy, why would people feel that you're worthy of love? Right? So treat yourself the way you want others to treat you. Love yourself the way you want to be loved. Because when you do that for yourself, you're contented yourself, you're happy yourself, and you're complete. And when you are complete, people from the outside look at you as a complete version of you, and they want to pour in so much love for you because you're complete, right? And some of them might even look up to you because they are struggling with self-worth themselves, and they might even come to you and be like, you look so confident, like how do you have all this confidence, and how do you actually build this self-worth with yourself? Okay, so this is something that I want to bring in, is self-acceptance. Okay, finding your inner peace. Number three, I'm done letting people walk all over me and getting mad because I'm not setting boundaries. This is one of the biggest lesson that I've learned in 2023. I know I say a lot of like, the biggest lesson, lesson, because in 2023 I really learned a lot. And these are just like 10 of the list that I'm learning or letting go. But setting boundaries is something that I struggled with so much, because I used to be a people pleaser, and that's the identity that I identified with for many years, and I was so afraid to saying no to people. But I think from my mentor, or I read this somewhere, and it stuck with me ever since, because you gotta understand that when you say yes to other people, even though you may not feel like it, even though your intuition is telling you no, what you're essentially doing is saying no to yourself. Okay, so let me repeat that. When you say yes to people, you're actually saying no to yourself. You're actually not prioritizing yourself. If you're prioritizing other people first, you put yourself at the back constantly, every single time. And your subconscious mind will tell you that, okay, I'm not as important, right? And this may not, like you may think that saying yes to people may not be like a big deal, right? Like, what's the big deal? I'm saying yes to people and I'm just helping, I'm just trying to be helpful, I'm trying to be nice, right? But one thing that you don't realize is that it actually hurts your own inner child or yourself, because the message that you're telling yourself is that it's okay, I'm gonna prioritize people's needs first. It doesn't matter if I'm tired, it doesn't matter if I don't feel like doing it, or it doesn't matter if I just can't, like, energetically or physically be able to be there for the person when they need me. And I'm not gonna put myself first because I'm gonna put them first. What you're telling yourself is that I you're always at the back of my mind. You're not important, you're not my priority. And when that happens, a lot of, I wouldn't say issues, but a lot of like your emotional state or negativity starts to spiral and start to boil. Because without putting yourself first, without filling your own cup first, you cannot give more. You're constantly draining your cup. So let's just say you have a cup of water, right? And that represents your capacity, your energy, and your emotions. And if you're constantly allowing people to take water out of your cup, at the end of the day, one day you're gonna be left with none, right? And if you're constantly allowing people to take out of your cup first and not being able to fill it fast enough, you have nothing left for people to take. And when you have nothing left for people to take, you realize that people just leave. And that's when you start to question, like, oh my god, like, why are my friends leaving me? Or why are quote unquote friends, why are they leaving me? Or why are people just not staying long enough? And at the end of the day, you're set with yourself and you don't know what to do with yourself, because that was exactly what happened to me when I allowed people to just step all over me and not set boundaries and take my energy, my time, without me setting boundaries and saying no. That's when I start to burn out so quickly. I start to hate life so much more. I start to hate myself because I don't set boundaries even though I know I need to. Right. And I know that it's not easy setting boundaries because um everyone wants to please someone, right? Like, we want to see people happy, and that's how we are genuinely as humans. But what I can say to that is that, know this concept. Like I mentioned, what helped me to put my boundaries and put my foot down and be like, hey, listen, these are my boundaries. If you don't respect it, you can leave. I think it's harder to say that, especially to the people closest to you, because you feel like, they are the people closest to you, right? Like my parents. I feel like it's so hard to set boundaries with my mom and tell her that I can't help her with certain things because I'm busy with my things, or rather I have planned out, a self-care day to myself. I think that's the hardest, because people who are closer to you, some of them, I'm not saying all, some of them might guilt trip you into, saying yes. They might be like, oh, but you've always done that. Like, why can't you do it now? Like, without you, I can't do it. Right? And all this starts to trick your mind into trying to say yes. So I would say that one thing to realize is that, put your foot down. As hard as it sounds, always learn to prioritize yourself first. Because know that when you prioritize yourself first, then you can give back to other people, right? And I want to say this again and again because it's so important to understand that, fill your own cup first. Because honestly, without any value to give, you're not of use to the world, right? You won't be happy, first of all. Second of all, you won't be of valuable, you won't add value into people's life. So why would you do that, right? So when you are so fulfilled, you can give more than you actually have, and it comes easily, it comes naturally. You don't feel forced. So it's kind of like a win-win situation. Okay, if you think about it, put yourself first, and then people come after that. You'll be able to help more people than ever. You'll be able to be there physically and mentally to help people as well. Okay, when you put yourself first. So I would say that I want you to learn to respect yourself, to respect your energy, because the most precious thing that you have is not money, it's your energy and your time. Okay, so take the time, take the energy to heal yourself and to respect yourself enough to know that, okay, set aside a certain time to just dedicate the time to yourself, right? Do what you love to do, no one else. Just do what you love to do, whether or not it's journaling, whether or not it's meditating. Have these moments of self care and self love, doing all these activities to kind of fill your cup up. Rest, okay? Don't always be out there helping people and then neglect yourself, because in the long run, one day you're gonna burn out. And that burnout is not something that you want to handle, because it's so stressful and it's so, so, so tiring. Because I've been through, done that, and this is one of, like I mentioned, the biggest lessons that I have to learn, especially at work, right? Knowing to balance work life balance, because the corporate ladder is always there for you to climb. Okay, whatever that you're trying to achieve will always be there for you to achieve, But if you're not physically or mentally capable to get to that level, or to even climb that ladder, or get to the point that you want to get to, everything's just useless. Okay, you're gonna be like so lost, and there's no point. So know to take care of yourself first. You can climb faster, you can get there faster, because you're just so creative and you're just so on the go. You feel so full and you feel so fulfilled with life. Okay, so that's that. So number 4, I'm done focusing on what I don't have, and I want to bring in more gratitude of what I have now in this moment. Okay, this is about gratification. I want to appreciate the little things in life more, like as simple as waking up every single day, having water to drink, or having a roof under my head, having clothes to wear. I want to be able to appreciate moments like that, or even moments like having the most fulfilling time with my friends, just having like laughter that is from your heart, just laughing from your heart, and enjoying the day to day, enjoying rain, even enjoying the weather, enjoying Mother Earth. Because when you feel lost, I would always advise people, or rather for myself, to get grounded with Mother Nature. Whether or not it's go for walks, whether or not it's just go for hikes, or just be in nature and take deep breaths. Nothing on my mind, walk it out, take deep breaths. Okay. So this is something that I want to emphasize on, is to be grateful for the little things in life. Because if you are actually trying to call in big manifestations, like X amount of money, or financial freedom, or just travel whenever you want to, or even that pay raise, whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, know that you have, the first step is to be grateful for what you already have. Okay, because if you are not grateful for what you already have, you can't have more. You can't have what you don't have, if that makes sense, right? Because the universe is not going to give you things, or the universe is not going to give you more things if you can't even appreciate the things that you have. It may seem stupid, it may seem so little and so insignificant, but trust me, a little gratitude goes a long way. Just try it out for 21 days, for a week. You'll feel like your whole vibration is just so different. You vibrate on a more positive energy, and you vibrate more on like a different frequency, whereby you're able to then call in all your manifestations. Because if you're vibrating on a really low energy, where you don't see a point in appreciating anything in life, or you don't feel like you can appreciate anything in life until you reach a certain goal, you will never get to that goal, because the energy of you reaching that goal and the energy that you are currently right now, vibrating on right now, it's not gonna match. Okay, you gotta increase your current vibration, your current energy, to match with the version of you that has everything that he or she wants. Okay, so this is something that I've learned so much, and I am honestly so grateful to be able to have what I have right now. And I just want to show, I think I showed one of in one of my episodes, I showed this before, but I just want to show it again. So let me just take the time to grab. So for those of you who are watching this on video, I just want to show you this little jar. I have this little jar which is filled with yellow post-it notes, okay, as you can see from the video. So all these moments are gratitude moments. I kid you not when I say that I write down gratification every single day, whenever I can, 2 or 3 a day. I write it down, I write the date, I put it in. At the end of the year, I'm gonna open this up and I'm gonna read out all my manifestations, all my gratitude gratifications, and every single thing that I'm grateful for is gonna be in here. Every single time I write one down, I'm just so happy, and it gives me something to kind of push me forward more. It gives me something to hold on to throughout the day, just because I'm so grateful that that particular thing happened. And it can be something as small as, like, I'm grateful to spend time with my dog. I'm grateful for being at home, working from home, and just looking at this 2 to 3 p.m. happy hour. This is my happy hour. I call 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. my happy hour, because I honestly enjoy my happy hour so much. Like, I don't know what about 2 p.m.s or 3 p.m.s that the world is just so silent. Everyone is at work, working away. And yeah, like from my room, I hear crickets, I hear birds, and it's just so nice. I don't know. I just love 2 p.m., 3 p.m., that timing. And yeah, these are the type of things that I write down in my post-it notes. Okay. So that's that. Now, number 5, you're halfway there. I'm done giving a timeline to everything. So stuff like, I want to have a successful business by 30, um, have my life figured out by 27, have financial freedom by 35 or 40, stuff like that, right? And I want to bring in more flow and more playful energy, right? Surrendering to the universe. I want to learn how to ride the wave of life and allow it to just bring me wherever it takes me, right? And I want to ride at the top and not constantly be hit by the life of wave, a wave of life, right? Like, I don't want to be constantly knocked down and be drowned by this wave and just feel so miserable and feel like everything just hitting me in the face. I don't want that. I want to ride with the wave. I want to surf with the wave. And I want to be at the top of the wave. You get what I mean? Like, to really enjoy the moment, to appreciate things like that. Same thing, it all ties in together to surrendering and just really be able to enjoy the little moments in life. And like I mentioned, what I'm leaving behind is to have a timeline. So if you're currently having a timeline to whatever it is that you want in life, your big manifestations or your goals, your aspirations, your desires in general, I would say that drop that timeline because you never actually know. One thing that I realized is that the universe works in such a wonderful, miraculous way where every single time that I try to put a timeline to it, it will never ever come. Just because I'm in same thing, same back to the same energy thing. I am vibrating on such a low frequency where I'm constantly in panic mode. I'm constantly counting down to how many days left, how many months left, how many weeks left for me to accomplish this goal. And if I don't accomplish this goal, means I'm not successful. Okay. And timeline doesn't have to be a long period of time. It can be like within the next 3 months or next 2 months. It's good to have goals. Don't get me wrong. It's good to have goals every single month or every other month. But what I'm trying to say is that don't be so hard up on the timeline. If it doesn't happen, know that the universe is gonna let it happen in divine timing. You're not ready yet. That's all. That's all. That is nothing gonna do with your self-worth. Okay. If you don't get your manifestations or if you don't achieve your desires in the timeline that you want it to be, let it be. Let go of control. Know that when you let go of control and you just be in this playful energy, the universe will actually works its way around it, right? Because you're not ready yet. Okay, just imagine yourself having all the desires and manifestations that you want to have right now. Would you be able to handle it energetically? Don't lie to yourself. Would you be able to handle it energetically? Would you panic or would you be afraid? Would all your fears start coming up? Because I bet that it is gonna start coming up because there are still things that you're not working on yet for you to bring in your manifestations. Just know that your manifestations are meant for you for a reason. It will come to you. You just gotta be patient. And when it doesn't come, what do you tell yourself? You tell yourself that it's okay. It means I need to still work on something else about myself or gain more new skill sets, or there is still things that I need to learn, right? Situations that I need to go through, grow through to even be able to have and hold space for my manifestations, and they will come. Okay? Know that your manifestations and your desires will come to you. You just gotta be patient. And I know that it sounds so irritating. I used to be so irritated at people that were telling me, be patient, be patient. I know I need to be patient, but I'm just very impatient. And I know that if you're listening to this and you're like, oh my god, bullshit. Like, you're telling me to be patient again. Like, what else can I do? You know what else you can do? You can actually let go of control and start to look at the action steps that you can take or what else you can do to get to where you want to be. Okay? Constantly explore, be in this curious mentality, and you will get there. Don't beat yourself up. Don't let it determine that, you're not worthy of your manifestations. Don't doubt yourself for ever wanting to have that desire. Because, like I said again, the universe will only give you desires that you're meant to achieve, that you can achieve. Okay? So that's that. And let's see. Number 6, I'm done thinking of the worst case scenario and I want to bring in possibilities and abundance. If you're like me and you always get flustered or you're always frantic about life in general, or rather you're all over the place, right? You're constantly in this panic mode of this survival mode of, oh my god, I need to get this done, I need to get that done. Like, what if this happens? What if that happens? And if your mind constantly goes to the worst case scenario, let me tell you this, when you understand this concept of really just letting go and surrendering and knowing that you can't control everything and anything in this world, that's when you gain true freedom. Okay, that's when you learn that there are so much possibilities out there. One situation or one desire, you can achieve it with different scenarios, with different situations. Just think of your desires as this little bubble, and then there's, okay, like a spider, right? Like, just think of your desires as the head of the spider, and then the legs are the different ways that you can get your desires. That's just how I like to think about it. There's just so many ways that you can actually manifest the things into your life. And let me tell you a secret. Whatever plan that you think, or whatever situation that you think you're gonna be put in to get to your desires, no matter how perfect this plan is, it's never ever gonna happen that way. Why? Because it's gonna happen better than what you expect it to be. And this is based on experience. This is based on the books that I've read. This is just based on anyone that I've seen manifesting the things that they want to manifest, even for myself. It always happens better than expected. And before that, I would obviously always be disappointed, right? Before I actually have this mindset shift, I will always be disappointed that, oh my god, it's not happening. Like, it doesn't happen. It's not never gonna happen. But know that the universe will always find ways to make it happen for you in a way that you never expect it to happen. Okay? And this is just something that I've learned to accept, and I've openly like accept it, with my heart. And everything has just been better, right? I see so much more possibilities and abundance, and I just feel like, oh my god, surprise me. I'm now at the stage where I'm like, surprise me, universe. Like, tell me what you can do, show me what you can do. And I'm always still surprised at how I've manifested a lot of things. So if you listen to a lot of my podcast episodes, you would know, and follow me through my manifestations, you will know that I'm always saying that, oh, I'm so shocked when it happened. I didn't know it was going to happen this way. Because honestly, that is just how life works. That is just how your desires are going to come into your life. It's going to surprise you, and every day feels like Christmas. Okay, so that's that. Now, number 7, I'm done avoiding the negativity of spending money on big ticket items, like for coaching session or facial sessions, or my dream bag, or traveling, buying like tickets and stuff like that. And I want to bring in gratitude for the things that I get to experience with this money, and there is enough to go around. Okay, so this touches on money mindset. Money has always been something that I have been struggling with, and I'm getting better, of course. But it used to be something that I don't know, I think it's a very like taboo topic to talk about money, and nobody likes to talk about money because you may seem, or you may come off as cocky, you may come off as, arrogant, like, oh, I don't know, it's just a lot of negative feelings that revolves around money. And I personally right now don't want to associate myself with all these negative emotions, right? I am proud to say that I am mentally abundant, that financial I'm financially happy, and that, all my finances are taken care of. There is enough to go around. You don't have to step onto anyone else. You don't have to ruin someone's life to be rich, open inverted rich, or to be financially abundant. Okay? You can be financially abundant because there is enough to go around this in this world. You just gotta understand that, what are your limiting beliefs, and what is holding you back from accepting money, because money is energy. I said this a lot of times. Money is energy. When you vibrate on the same level of frequency as money, money comes into your life. And one of the mantra I think that a lot of people would say, if you hear it often, you would know, is that money is all around us. I am abundant. I attract money in easily. And it's very hard for you to believe in it at the start. You think that, okay, yeah, this is a mantra that I say every single day. But if you don't believe in it, or if you still have money blockages that you are not working through, then I would say that this mantra is useless, basically. Okay. So I want you to kind of think about the money that you are spending, like what you're spending on. I'm not saying to save, or I'm not saying to scrimp on, things that will make you happy. What I'm saying is to prioritize your spending. If, let's say, that you know that traveling, like for me, okay, for my example, right? Like, I know that traveling to San Francisco for 3 weeks is gonna be so life changing. First, because it's my solo trip, my first ever solo trip. Second is because I have always wanted to go back to San Francisco, and I know that it's gonna bring me so much happiness. Just the thought of it excites me so much. I know it's, a money well spent. It's so worth it. Okay. Even though it may not bring, like, if you think about return on investment, right? Your ROI, even though it may not bring me back more money, it's an expense. But what I'm gaining is so much more valuable, right? You gotta understand that money is like I tell you, it's an exchange of energy, in and out. It's a flow. If you are constantly keeping money and not letting it out, nothing can come in, right? It's like if you're not, same thing back to the cup. I love to use the cup analogy, but back to the cup analogy, right? If it's full and if you don't pour away some, you'll never be able to put in more money, put in more water. You know what I mean? Like it's never gonna be able to hold more. So you gotta let it flow. Understand that it's just an exchange, it's gonna come back to you. Every single time that you spend, tell yourself it's gonna double back to me. I'm worthy of it. It's gonna double back to me. This is a wise choice, right? I'm not saying like splurging and everything. What I'm saying is that to spend on things that will make you feel happy, make you feel safe, and make you feel peaceful. Everything that has got to do with your emotional state, I would say that is totally worth it. Okay, so that is an example, and I would say that a lot of times like people get shit on spending money on like luxury items. I used to be that person that gets shit on spending money on luxury items by my parents because they used to think, or they are brought up thinking that luxury items are only for rich people and we are not rich people, so it's just a waste of money, right? When essentially when you're spending money on a bag, I'm not talking about Chanel, because Chanel is basically, people buy Chanel for an investment just because it's like increasing every single year, every single other month. But let's just say like a normal bag, right? If you were to purchase a bag, people, it's an expense, right? This is facts, it's an expense. But what a lot of people don't think of is that it gives you so much more emotional satisfaction, that this emotional satisfaction you're gonna ride on it for so long, and it's gonna improve the quality of your life. Because if you're not happy, whatever that happens around you is gonna reflect it, right? If you are happy internally and you're happy knowing that you spend this amount and it's well spent, you don't feel a single guilt on spending that money, know that this money is going to double back. Like I mentioned, whatever that you focus on increases. Whatever energy that you put towards is going to double back more. So if you focus on lack, you're going to attract more lack. Okay, so why not focus on abundance? And this is something that I've worked very long for me to understand and be able to look at money and look at my bank account, face my bank account, and look at all the minus signs, like all my expenses, and just detach any emotional feelings that I have towards money. Like I no longer look at minus signs, like all the negative signs, not negative, but all the expenses, like the minus whatever amount. I'm no longer attached this fear, this oh my god, I'm spending again, like this, all these feelings, all these negative feelings to it. How I see it now is it's just numbers. Like my mentor tells me, it's just numbers. Okay, plus or minus, it's just numbers. So when I look at it that way, everything seems much easier. Okay, so number 8, I'm done worrying about anything and everything, and bringing in trust that whatever that is meant for me will happen for me, and whatever that's meant for me will not pass. Okay, so let me repeat that again. I am done worrying about anything and everything, being like a worry freak. And I know and trust, and what I'm bringing in to 2024 is that whatever that's meant for me will never pass me by. Okay, I want you to understand this so much, because when you understand that whatever that is meant for you in your life, whatever that is written in your life scripts, your life purpose, it will come into your life one way or another. It may be in a different form, or different situations may happen, but just know that whoever that you're meant to meet, whatever situations that you're meant to go through, whatever life lessons you're meant to learn, they're all gonna happen for you in divine timing. Okay? And it will not pass you by. So do not ever think that you will never be worthy of your desires and dreams and they will never come by, because or rather you're afraid of missing out on things just because of this statement, okay? That things that were meant to happen for you will happen, and you will not miss out on anything, okay? Because I feel like every single time that someone has anxiety, for me, I used to suffer from anxiety as well. I used to have anxiety panic attacks, whatever attacks that are out there, because I'm always so afraid that what if this doesn't happen? What if I don't get there? What if? I used to live in this what if world and allow this what if world to eat me alive, and I'll be drowning in it, like, oh my god, like I'm so afraid that, I'm not able to live the life that I want to live. I'm so afraid that what if I, fingers crossed, what if I die tomorrow? Like, will I be able to live out my dream? And I know that this may sound really, really extreme, but I know that there are people out there who understands what I'm trying to say. Especially if you're a high achiever, you know that you have so much expectations of yourself that you feel like you may not be able to accomplish all of them in this lifetime. But just know that you will, okay? And all this ties back to you trusting and letting go, and know that whatever that's meant for you will not pass you by. Because this is one mantra that I love to tell myself whenever I start panicking, or whenever I notice myself panicking, I'll tell myself, it's okay. It's okay. If it's meant for you, it will stay. If it's not, open your arms, it will live either ways. Okay, it applies for people, relationships, friendships, situations that you're in, anything and everything in life, even for money or whatever it is, right? Whatever that is meant for you, the whole entire aspects of life, whatever that is meant for you will not pass you by. Okay, so please keep this in mind. Next, number 9. Okay, we're at the second last. I'm done settling for less, lowering my standards because someone can't live up to it, and calling me out for having high standards. Okay, I end up hurting myself more. So, what I'm bringing in is a lot of confidence and holding myself accountable for living out my highest self identity, someone whom I look up to a lot, and someone whom do not stand for disrespect. Okay, so I know it's a lot. What I want to break it down further, of course, I am done settling. Do not ever settle. I used to settle for anything and everything that I can, just because growing up, I have heard feedbacks, of people telling me, or my friends, family members, even telling me that I have such high standards that I will never be able to find someone that will fit my standards in terms of relationship wise, right? And it's true. The fact is that I do have high standards. Do I stand by it? I do. Because standards and expectations are very, very different. Like what my mentor tell me, standards are your non-negotiables. Okay? Expectations is something that you can do without. It's good to have. Right? So when someone tells you that, oh my god, you have such high expectations, tell them no. I have high standards and I do stand by them. Because honestly, it doesn't make sense for you to settle for anything lesser than that, because you're going to be unhappy. The person that is with you is going to be unhappy because you're constantly unsatisfied. You constantly be looking at that person and be like, why can't you live up to my standards when you literally choose that person? Right? And you're just going to be in this misery, and you're going to bring someone into your misery. So just know that never ever settle for less, whether or not it's for a relationship, or whether or not it's for a career, or whether or not it's your work life in general, or just life in general. Like friendships even, never ever settle for less. Okay, know that you hold your standards true to you. There's a reason why you have those standards. Never settle for less. All right, learn to hold yourself accountable for it, be proud about it, and know that it's for your best interest at heart. Okay, know that whatever standards if you're afraid that no one's gonna live up to your standards, you're wrong. Because there's literally so many people on this earth, okay, that there will be someone that is meant for you. And there are there will be your tribe. You just gotta find your tribe of people, your community of people. Okay, so that's that. Do not stand for disrespect. All right, because if you stand for disrespect and people know that they can disrespect you, it's the same thing as setting boundaries. If you allow other people to have that misconception of being able to step all over you, to disrespect you because you don't respect yourself enough, then there's something that you need to work on. Okay, because if you respect yourself enough and you hold yourself to your standards, and you are portrayed as someone, or you feel like you're someone that has her standards, and you hold to that standards, let me tell you that people are going to start looking at you, and they're going to be like, oh my god, I want to be like her. Like, she is open inverted scary, and you know that you don't allow your energy to just flow out to everyone, right? You conserve your energy and you know who to let in and who to let go of. And that is power, okay? Honestly speaking, when you respect yourself enough, when you love yourself enough, when you have boundaries that you hold on to so dearly, that you do not allow other people to disrespect you, that is power that you hold. Okay, that is silent power, women power, whatever power that is, it's so strong that people, you don't even need to say a word. People around you, they're gonna start observing how you treat yourself and what are the type of values that you hold and what are the type of standards that you hold yourself accountable to. They will want to live up to their standards. Okay, try it out, let me know. Now, I want to end it with a huge bang. Okay, we're on to our 10th things that I want to let go of in 2023. Before I say that, I want to say that this might ruffle some feathers. It might anger some people, you know what? But it's exactly the reason why I want to leave it as the last, as a banger for what I'm living in 2023. Okay, are you ready for this? Number 10. I'm done listening to advice from people who are not where I want to be. Okay, worse, people who are stuck in where I do not want to be. I don't want their advice. It's unsolicited advice, and I know that I can already hear that some of you might be pissed off about this because they were like, oh my god, she's so arrogant, like she doesn't want to listen to people, blah 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 blah. Okay, now you can roll your eyes. You have two choices. You can actually leave this podcast right now, or you can actually let me know in the comments, justify why I'm wrong in the comments. Either way, it's not going to affect me because this is my opinion. And for those of you who are curious as to what I'm talking about, or who rather feel like, oh, that might be true, I want to explain further. Okay, so I want to say that all I'm ever focused on is to live my best life and the life that actually benefits me the most, right? Not benefiting others, but me. As you grow, or as I grow older, I realize that everyone wants to chip in their opinion on how you live your life. They want to give you their 2 cents. They want to give you their advice, right? And this advice are so unsolicited that it may not be something that you want to hear, but it may be something that people want to tell you because I don't know, I feel like people in general, they have so many advices to give, right? Like they just want to tell you their opinion in life. And it's just life and it's just human in general, and that's okay, right? All I'm saying is that know who to listen to because it doesn't, if you think about it, it doesn't make sense that if you're running a fever, you go to a dentist. You understand what I'm trying to say? Like if you're running a fever and you're going to a dentist won't be able to help you. So same thing. If you aspire to reach a certain goal in your life and you go to people who are constantly complaining about their life, constantly just bitching about other people, constantly just in this negative loop, what are you gonna learn from them? How to be negative and how to keep yourself in this loop, right? Like you're not gonna do that. So don't ever do that. If you're anything like me, or rather if you are very like entrepreneurial or just very ambitious in general, surround yourself with people like that. Even though it may feel hard, but just know that when you open yourself up to connect with people who are um vibrating on that level, you will meet them. Okay, because I used to feel like it's so hard to find someone that is entrepreneurial or someone that understands manifestations or wellness and stuff like that. But right now, let me tell you, I've found my tribe of people. Whether or not it's one or two people, it's more than enough. Because know that those are your energy givers. Like they really just provide so much good vibes and energy that you leave the conversation knowing that you've learned so much more. Never ever leave a conversation feeling like you're so drained out from the conversation, or you just have all this negativity that is building up, because that's when you know that those people are energy suckers. And if they are good friends, your best friends, your close friends, your family members even, let me tell you that you gotta just do whatever it takes to cut off this energy. Okay, I'm not saying cut them off, but I'm saying like to know that spend lesser time with them, or to just hone in a lot more into yourself and to find more people. Put yourself out there to tell people that hey, I'm into wellness, I believe in stuff like that. Be open to say what you want to say, and be open to say your opinions and what you're working on, because then you can attract the people that are that have been through it, or rather they are on the same energy as you are. Okay, so I would say that take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Okay, advisors are everywhere. You can take it from, I don't know, people closest to you, even books in general. I would always take advices from books because honestly speaking, like people, especially like self-help books, people, writers who have been through their life, they can tell you things that they have learned, right? And you shorten a lot of like your journey because you learn through them. And I love to learn through biographies or like just people that have been through whatever hardships that they have been through, and it allows me to understand how I can deal with it better. Okay, so I would say that one thing, the reason why I say this is that because everyone is in such a different stage in life, different paths, we face different situations, and whatever that works for someone might not work for you. So at the end of the day, it still boils down to you being alone, you understanding what you need to learn and how you need to think. What advice would you give yourself? Okay, so I would say that always ask yourself for advice first before you ask anyone else. And if people who are not where you want to be give you advice, learn to just shut it off. Okay, as bad as it sounds, I know, shut it off. Okay, you're gonna piss some people off, doesn't really matter because those people are not meant to be in your life. Because if they're constantly giving you advice and you're not taking your advice, not trying to understand why you don't take their advice and getting pissed off at you, they're not meant to be in your life in general. Okay, so I would say that um like we get so busy living our life. I think in general, as a collective in this society, everyone is just so busy living their life and just living like the same type of life, I would say. And when you try to be something different, there will be people that will hate on you. Okay, there will be people that will tell you that, oh my god, like, what are you doing? That's not the way to go. Like, let me give you my advice, learn from me. Like, I don't know, live life like me. And if you don't want to live life like them, then don't take their advice. All right, like, honestly speaking, I think we have come to a point whereby everyone is just living up to a certain rule, and we want everyone else to this live with this rule so that we don't feel like we're different. We try to make everyone the same. So when someone stands out, we want to tell them that our opinions and be like, no, don't stand out. Like, be the same, be with us, right? And we love to be in this community. It's just, what community are you in? Like, whether it's the right community for you. Okay, I'm not saying that it's wrong to, I don't know, to be like in this particular community of like negativity. By all means, you do you. If that is what makes you happy, chase that, go for it. But it's not me. Know yourself, know who are the type of people that you want to surround yourself with, know who are the type of people that can give you good advice that you would love to have. And just know that, like, it's okay to not listen to people that you feel like just I don't want to take their advice. It's okay. Okay, it's same thing for my advice. If you don't want to take my advice, fine by me. Like, this is just me using this platform to be able to inspire people. And if you do love my advice, I'm happy to have you in our Life Seasons family. Okay, so that's that. So I'm like slowly losing my voice, but this is the end of like the 10 things that I want to let go of in 2023 and what I'm bringing in 2024. So what I would say is, don't ever let anyone talk you out of chasing after your dreams just because they don't have that courage to chase theirs, or just because they choose not to chase theirs. Okay, you have all rights to go after your dreams, to chase after your dreams, to have all the desires and manifestations that you want to have. Don't ever let yourself be talked out of it. Okay, because it's meant for you. Just know that everyone is so different. Like, you probably are meant to speak your truth. You're probably are meant to be that rebel or feel like you don't fit in, and it's okay. Take that as a pride. Take that with pride. Be proud of it that you don't fit in, because that means you're special, you're doing something right, right? Because if everyone is the same, the world is just gonna be so boring, let me tell you that. So do not spend your time and your energy seeking advice from people that are not, that you don't want to hear from, or they are not living the life that you want to live. Okay, I'm not saying to tell them off or to just do it nicely. Okay, so that's all for today's episode. I hope that you do enjoy this episode, and for the rest of December, I hope that you can actually take time to sit down and think about what you are letting go of in 2023 and what you want to bring in 2024 and start your year with a bang. Because don't wait till January. You don't have to wait till January to start thinking about, your goals and stuff. What you can do is start earlier. Everyone starts earlier, be happier, and know exactly going into 2024, you have so much more in mind that you're just so motivated, and just write down the list. Okay, write down the list of what you want to bring in, what you want to leave behind. It may be very different for you, but these are just 10 of like the most important things that I just kind of want to highlight. And yeah, I would say that it's not the end of the season yet. Next year, 2024 January, will be start of a new season, but obviously I'm still going to be posting every single week, and just stay tuned for December's episodes because they're gonna be so good. Like I'm just gonna be sharing a lot on like vision boards, creating vision boards, like stuff like that, what I'm leaving behind in 2023 and my goals for 2024, so that you can kind of bring you on this journey of my life. And especially when I mentioned that I'm starting this new chapter of my life, and I'm just so excited to be able to share all my learnings and just be able to bring you guys on with me to watch my grow and grow with me, so that we can actually grow together as a collective. That's just my main goal. And I hope that you're happy listening to all these episodes. And yeah, like I know some episodes may run a bit longer, but I know that some of you listen to the end and you feel like it's not enough. I do get feedbacks like that, and I'm very, very appreciative, very grateful for it. So yeah, I hope that you enjoy your December, you enjoy this festive season, and please start to use this month as a month to make changes, okay? To start to look into inwards a little bit more and not so much of the external world. And yeah, I just hope that you enjoy it. So I'm very sorry for my voice today. I'm just so glad I'm able to get this out, and I hope that it's clear. If not, we have subtitles, don't worry for it. So don't worry about it. But yeah, I hope to see you in the next episode. Bye.